When we talk about coaching upward, let me reframe what coaching upward is. And those are those situations where we see upper level management potentially doing things that we disagree with, or that we know won't work, or what have you. It puts us in a very vulnerable, precarious position. Because if we don't say something, and all of a sudden the inevitable happens, and upper level management says, "Boy, did you see this coming?" And you say, "Yeah, I just didn't want to say anything. It wasn't my place." Well, that also lacks leadership. It lacks merit. Now, on the flip side, there are many organizations who will say, "There's no way I'm giving information upward because it could be used against me punitively." So how do I have those conversations? How do I have coaching conversations going upward? Well, first of all, it is very tough to do, but let me tell you what coaching upward is not. It's not just you giving feedback. It's not about you providing an opinion or a sense of emotional anguish. It's really not about you providing insight to where you're frustrated. And a lot of times people think coaching upward is giving your direct boss feedback. That's not necessarily what coaching upward is all about. Number two, I want you to think about a situation where you know maybe your direct boss, the president of your company, or what have you, is making a decision or has made a decision or is going to do something that you think won't work. And you see it clear as day. What do? Well, first of all, you can go up to that person and say, "John, would you mind if I shared with you a perspective based on the decision you just made? Because I don't want to make assumptions of where you're coming from." Permission allows them to invite you to provide feedback or insight or visibility to a situation. The sword, which is something close to "so I don't make assumptions," means you own the reason why you're asking the question or why you want to provide insight, meaning I don't want to make assumptions of what you see or don't see, which I think would be unfair to you. That type of language allows you to own the reason why you're bringing it up, and it becomes less accusatory and less feedback driven. Number three, stay away from the objective of how you feel. "Well, I just feel like your decision won't work." If I'm an owner of a company, which I am, and somebody says that to me, and I ask them, "Well, what do you base it on?" and they don't back it up, guess what my visibility is? It's a complainer, someone just kind of shooting from the hip. And maybe I put a lot of careful thought into it, and even though I might be making the wrong decision. 4, use the term visibility. "John, would you mind if I shared with you a couple perspectives based on the decision you made? Because I don't want to make assumptions of where you're coming from, but I also want to provide you visibility that maybe you see or you don't see, because I ultimately don't want you to be blindsided." See, the objective of coaching upward is to protect upper level management. It's not to give your opinion. It's not to give your frustration. It's to protect them. Even though you might disagree with the decision, that's not your place. The objective of coaching upward is to protect management. So you can kill, for lack of a better description, two birds with one stone. You can certainly present the issue that you might be in full agreement, or the decision isn't something, or something that upper level management did that you don't agree with. You can still address that objective, but you have to address it objectively and professionally to do two things: to provide visibility to upper level management, to also protect them from being blindsided. Our objective, there is nowhere in our job description does it say to provide your personal feedback to your direct boss if you feel frustrated. But most people feel coaching upward is about giving feedback and giving a sense of where you're frustrated. Our job with upper level management is to protect them, to provide visibility, to help them avoid being blindsided. And guess what? Sometimes they see things coming that we don't think they see coming. Or maybe there's a perspective based on a decision or something put into place that we didn't see. The objective of any type of coaching is to build awareness and clarification. Now, if you happen to be an upper level manager, you also have to receive coaching upward. Now, if somebody comes to me and starts to use all these techniques in my company and says, I want to give you, some visibility, I don't want you to be blindsided, and I cut my employees off and say, no, don't worry about it, I'm the president. What I also just said was, don't ever protect me again. Even though I might be driving down the wrong side of the road, don't give me visibility to the crash I'm about to have. I just sent a message, I'm completely on my own. Now, what managers and upper level management always say is, well, my door is always open, I want feedback, I want upward information. Okay, great, then you got to receive it. So if you're a manager coaching upward or an employee coaching upward, ask for permission. The sword. Own why you're asking so I don't make assumptions. And if you go in with an objective, I want to provide you visibility and I want you to potentially avoid being blindsided based on some things I see. Would that be okay if I shared that with you? If you take that type of an approach, I guarantee you 99% of the time, if you do it thoughtfully, with a positive tone and upbeat energy, because you're going in to protect and provide visibility, upper level management will receive it extremely well. Good luck.